Lesson 9.3, equivalent functions of radian angles. Number 1 says, which of the following is not equivalent to sine of pi over 5? So remember, this is some kind of radian or angle measure, and they're trying to figure out the sine, the opposite side of the triangle. And so we don't have this on our unit circle, but I could figure out where that's at. So pi over 5, if I wanted to convert that into degrees, I'd really take it times 180 over pi, the pi's would cancel. Or think about it as pi is equivalent to 180 degrees. So 180 divided by 5 is what you're doing. That's really 36 degrees, which puts me in quadrant 1, not quite a 45, somewhere like this. Okay, so let's think about sine. You have to remember which quadrant sine has the same kind of values. So sine is positive, or everything's positive in quadrant 1. Remember that all students take classes, but also knowing sine is the y values. So sine is positive in the top 2 quadrants, here and here. It would not be positive here, there would be negative because the y values are negative in these 2 bottom quadrants. So we're really asking which 2 of these or which of the angles is not going to end up here or here on our coordinate plane. That's it. So think about this. If this was pi over 5, then down here would be a negative pi over 5. Remember, negative angles go clockwise. So that's going to put us there. It's not that one. Oh, so that would be the answer. But let's go through the other ones real quick. 11 pi over 5. Think about 11 fifths. Oh, that didn't help. Duh. 11 fifths is 2. I guess I wanted to change it into something. Is 2, because right, 10 fifths would be 2. It's 2 and 1/5. So that means your 2 pi is completely 1 revolution plus the 1/5 again, which would put us here. So that's why that one does work. 14 pi over 5, think about that's almost 3 pi, but that would be 14 fifths would be 2 and 4/5 pi. So that would be a 2 pi, which is a complete revolution, and then 4/5, which actually puts us here. We're almost to 5/5, which is another whole. Negative 9 pi over 4. Think about that's almost negative 10. But this is not what I do every time. I'm just trying to explain to you why I'm going to get these answers, because it comes back to what the signs are like in the certain quadrants on the coordinate plane. What I do is if they're giving me pi, that is a radian measure. So I need to go to my mode. I'm going to have to change it into radian. And remember that you're doing this. I'm going to second quit out of that. I'm going to hit sine of pi over 5. This is going to give me a decimal. This is saying this is the length of the opposite side of our triangle. So my y value right here. Okay, it's positive. So then all I have to do is go through, and I'm going to try these other ones. So I'm going to try, not inverse sine, sine of negative pi over 5. See how that gets a negative value? Those aren't the same. They're the same length, but it's in a different quadrant. We said it was down here. Okay, let's just check the other ones real quick. We have sine of 11 pi over 5. See how it gets the same positive number. I'll try to just, I'll just skip to do this one. Negative 9 pi over 5. They'll all end up getting the same. But again, it's because of the quadrants. So if you could figure it out in your head, then it's a little faster. All right, number 2 says, which of the following is equivalent to secant of pi over 3? So we have never done these on our calculator. Secant is one of those reciprocal functions. Remember, it is the reciprocal of cosine. So secant of an angle is really 1 over cosine of that angle. So what I'm going to do here to put secant, because I don't have a secant button on my calculator, or a cosecant, or a cotangent. So what I have to do is use sine, cosine, and tangent. So I'm going to put in 1 divided by, or over, cosine of pi over 3. Okay, so it's really having a 1 over, I'm going to use cosine of that angle. That will make it the reciprocal to give us really a secant value. And it's simply 2. So all I have to do is go through each of these options and put 1 over cosine of the angle measures and see which one gets out positive 2. So it'd be that one. Man, I picked out the wrong ones that give you the right answer on the very first time. Let me just pick one more of them real quick. I'll do the 8 pi over 3. See how that gives you a negative? That means it's in a different quadrant because cosine and secant are positive in quadrants 1 and in quadrant 4 because it's where the x values are positive. So that's what these angles are referring to.